What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about how to start a business.
Yes.
You talk about this sometimes, don't you, on your TikTok?
All the time on TikTok, and I get 1 million messages a week. That's an exaggeration.
1
million. But everybody asks, how do I start a business? What do I do? What are the steps? I want to start a business. I don't know how. I'm overwhelmed. So we're just going to lay it all out and just help you, give you a little bit of a guide for starting a business and knowing how to get started.
And stay tuned until the very end. We have a few ideas. So if you guys are lacking ideas or thinking, oh, I really want to start a business, and after we lay out all the steps on how to start a business, then you're like, well, what business? Like, what should I do as part of my business, right? So we're going to, at the very end, stay tuned. We're going to lay out 5 ideas that you could do to start a business. And all of these ideas, you don't really need capital, which is money. You don't need a lot of upfront money. And these ideas are perfect for anywhere from like a 10-year-old all the way up to 50-year-old. Like literally these business ideas are viable and anyone can do them. So stay tuned and watch to the very end.
Awesome. Okay, so first and foremost, you need to think of an idea. So what are you interested in? And if you're having a hard time with this, literally just start thinking about your interests. So are you into sports? Are you into fashion? Are you into photography? Are you into animals? You know, whatever your passions are, you can kind of go into that. And then if you're still having a hard time, just look at what other people are doing. So as you're scrolling on TikTok, as you're looking at Instagram and Snapchat, as you're talking to friends, whatever you're doing, just make sure your ears are perked and you're really paying attention to what other people are doing. I know sometimes I'll be looking through Instagram and I'll see a fashion blogger or I will see a fitness coach and I'll think, oh, that's really cool. Like, I would be interested in doing that. And just kind of as you're looking at these things, pay attention and ask yourself, oh, is that something I want to do? You don't have to make some crazy invention to start a business. You just need to model what other successful people are already doing.
Yep. Copying what already works. You guys have heard the saying, don't try to reinvent the wheel, just modify the wheel a little better, right?
Exactly.
We go by the 10% rule. And so we look at an existing product and we say, how can we improve it by 10%? And that's how we know we can have a viable business. So after you find your business idea and you're like, okay, I'm ready to run with this. The next step number 2, is you need to create a roadmap. They call this a business plan.
Yeah.
So you need to put together kind of a to Z plan on how you're going to do this. What other steps are needed in order to bring this idea to reality instead of it just some idea in your head, right? So this is kind of before you do the major execution of the idea, you have to come up with a plan that is going to be your roadmap, your blueprint to success.
And when building this plan, just ask yourself basic questions. What is my product? Who's going to buy my product? Do I need money to start with? Where am I going to get that money? You know, just ask all of these questions and then start writing down the answers. And obviously your business is going to mature. It's going to get better. And when you're just writing down this plan, it's going to be pretty bare. You're going to add to it and it will get better and more detailed the further into the process you get.
So as many of you know, as part of an important business plan is you need to figure out how are you going to finance this idea, right? And some ideas are more capital intensive, and what I mean by capital intensive is they're going to take a lot more money for them to become a reality, for them to become a real product, a real viable product that someone would buy. Now, the ideas that we like to give to most people are ideas where you don't have to have a lot of money. It doesn't matter your situation or financial situation. Our ideas are more for those who have the hustle, have the desire, the want,
the work ethic
to go get it, and they definitely can make it happen with little to no money. So we don't want to go too deep into how to get other people's money to finance your project or how to pitch an angel investor or try to find any other investor. We're not really going to go deep into that because we want you to try to start a business without a lot of money. We usually call this bootstrapping your business yourself with little to no money.
Correct. Okay, the next thing we want to do is make sure that we're doing everything legally. So you want to determine your legal business structure. So let's say you want to sell clothes, you need to get the accurate permits, or you need to establish LLCs. So there are selling permits and different things you need to look into. Every single state has something different. And so at this point, I literally just Googled how to get a seller's permit in California, or what is needed to sell makeup in Ohio, or whatever you're planning on doing. And just a quick Google search will tell you all of the permits and all of the licenses that you need to sell this product.
We're not licensed attorneys, so we do recommend that when you get to the point and your business is becoming more viable and you're ready to create an LLC for your business and you're ready to register with the IRS, once you get to that point and you're bringing in some good money, what we recommend is talk with an attorney. Attorneys, they are professionals at establishing LLCs. They're professionals at helping you know what exactly you need for your legal structure. Okay, next, after your product is getting off the ground, you'll need to eventually start hiring a team.
Yeah.
So like for our business, we have other teammates that work for us that help us run the business while we're gone, while we're on vacation. And simply put, we just don't have enough time in the day to be able to cover all of our business activities that we do every single day. So we have to hire people that help us out. So at this point in time, once you start scaling, you need to start looking at building a team. You can only get so far as a one-man team. We do recommend just starting as a one-man team until you get to the point where the business becomes more viable and you're making some money and you're able to start paying others using the money that's coming into the business instead of just using your own personal money.
Exactly. I think that's a good time when you know you're ready to hire some people to help you out is when the business can afford it. If you can afford to pay somebody part-time, full-time, that's a good sign that your business is growing and you can scale up. All right, the next thing you want to do is advertise. This is another really hot question we get all the time, where some of y'all have already started a business, but you're having a hard time bringing customers in, or you want to start a business and you're scared you won't get customers. So obviously you can have the most amazing product in the world, but if nobody knows it's there, then you're not going to sell anything. If you're doing a service business, so this is something that doesn't involve a tangible product. So let's say you have a babysitting business, or you're teaching music lessons, or something where there's not a physical product. I think the biggest thing you can do to start out is just spread the word. And you don't necessarily have to rely on your friends and family to be your customers, but I think friends and family love to help promote your business. So they're not forced to take your music lesson, but they can tell their friends and family that, oh, so-and-so is now teaching music lessons if you have any kids interested. So I would just start by telling everybody, tell your school teachers, tell your friends, your neighbors, the people you go to church with, just start putting it out there into the universe that you're doing this and people will start becoming interested.
Yes. Another example is, let's say you're selling lipstick or you're selling clothing or scrunchies or anything like that. You're going to want to run advertising on social media. Exactly. Social media is the new internet. It's the new TV. I know that social media runs on the internet, but we don't go to Google as much anymore as we used to when we're looking for brands like clothing or lipstick, those kinds of things. We go to social media, we go to influencers, and we also see the ads that appear on our feed. And the cool thing about social media advertising is it's very geared and targeted towards people that want to buy. That's the cool thing about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Is
their algorithms are crazy.
They're
so
spot
they know
on.
Everything about us. It's kind of creepy, but they know who's looking for what stuff, and so they're able to target ads for your company to people who are already interested in it.
So in 2020, if you're advertising a product, we definitely recommend using social media.
Absolutely. And as you're just starting to and wanting to get the word out there, reach out to social media influencers. You can DM them and ask if they'd be interested in product in exchange for sponsored posts. So don't reach out to people who have hundreds of thousands and millions of followers because they probably won't even respond, but start with micro influencers, maybe 10 to 15,000 followers on Instagram, and just shoot a ton of DMs out to all of these people and say, hey, if I send you this product, will you post about it? And a lot of these micro influencers are trying to grow their accounts and they're wanting to get product like this, and so a lot of them will say yes, and that's just another way to get a lot of eyes on your new product.
Okay, and then the last thing is your business is going to get to a point where you have to start scaling it. You have to start hiring employees. You have to maybe buy a bigger building because you've outgrown your garage or your bedroom, and that's okay. This is a great thing. This is a good indicator that your business is kind of flourishing.
Yeah.
And you're going to start taking it to the next level. What that means is you'll start doubling your revenue. You'll start having to hire like a tax accountant. And these are all very good signs. This means that the business is healthy. It's in a good position for future growth and for sustainability.
And the good thing is this is all very gradual. At the very beginning, thinking of getting a tax accountant, for example, can seem really overwhelming. But honestly, it's just step by step, and you just figure things out as you go. And if you're at that point, that's great. That means your business is thriving and you're continuing to grow and make money.
So those are the business steps. Now, as promised at the beginning of the video, we said we'd give some ideas, some business ideas. So the first idea that I want to bring up, and this idea actually came from Addison, and she literally did this. This is something that she's done and it has worked, and that is to either start a photography business or a videography business. And what I commend her the most for when she started this business is her first client. She just used her phone. She just used her iPhone, and she was able to create a portfolio using her iPhone to get started, to jumpstart the business. And then once she realized, okay, clients are interested, people are interested, and she created her website, she started advertising, She did all those things. She then bought the camera. And so it's an easy business to replicate. She wasn't inventing the wheel. It was already done. She just said, I'm going to jump in and just do it. So first idea is create a photography or videography business.
And with that, I would just add that you need to kind of prove to yourself that you're going to run with a business. I think what a lot of people do is they get sidetracked with kind of all the fluff stuff and not the actual business itself. So for example, people say, I want to start a photography business. The first thing they do is go and buy a nice camera, or they build out their website. No, the first thing you need to do is start taking pictures. You need to start doing photography and see if you like it and get good at it. Right? And so I think we sometimes get caught up in things that we shouldn't get caught up in until we actually know that we're going to do this business.
Yes. Second business idea is start an Airbnb VRBO short-term rental cleaning business. So we had an Airbnb, multiple Airbnbs actually. And what was our biggest pain point? Cleaning.
This is a great idea, you guys. What you can do is just DM hosts. So go onto the VRBO app, the Airbnb app, and just DM hosts and say, hey, I have a cleaning company. I would love to do your cleanings. This is what I charge. And obviously, depending on the size of the rental, that will depend on what you charge. If it's a really small one-room thing, maybe $5-10. If it's a huge house, you can probably make upwards of $100.
Or more.
Yeah. I mean,
some of these Airbnb hosts are charging anywhere from $300 to $500 per cleaning. That's what they're charging the guests that book their Airbnb. This is a very viable, it's a very 2020 business and something that you don't need any upfront capital to get started. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is. Another thing I always go back to is babysitting.
Yes.
So babysitting, you might think, oh, that's not for me, or I don't want to do that. But guys, babysitting can make you serious money, and it's a great thing to start out as, especially if you're young. And then as you get older, you can call it nannying or whatever. But people pay a lot of money for people to watch their kids. And if they like you, and if you're providing a lot of value, obviously providing a safe atmosphere for their children, but if you're also helping with housework, or you're helping prepare dinner, or whatever the case is, cleaning, then they're going to pay you a lot of money because you are making their life significantly easier. So babysitting is always a fantastic idea that I highly recommend.
And if you're good at it, you can kind of multitask a little bit, right? The kids, maybe you put the kids down for a nap, and then while they're napping, you can work on a little side hustle, or you can work on building a website, things like that. So anyways, guys, there's a few ideas that we promised, and stay tuned. We are releasing another video tomorrow where we deep dive into 10 different business ideas that you can start. And most of these business ideas, you need little to no upfront cash or capital. So check out that video releasing tomorrow, and make sure to subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.